Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the duo group Ironman. In the last video, I participated in a 10-day long bingo. We just finished that up yesterday as of recording this, and during that time I was doing a lot of chambers. I wrapped up the last video at exactly 300 kc, and this is what the collection log looks like. I'm probably just going to end up doing more chambers this video, but right now it is dinner time, so I'm going to go eat dinner while I AFK and ponder what I'm doing with my life. Okay, cut the music, it's not that deep or epic. After getting the Ancestral Top last video, I felt like trying the Inferno, and I've never tried it before unless you count leagues, but I don't count that because you pretty much just face tank everything and don't actually have to learn the mechanics. So at the very least, it's my first time trying this in the main game. I'm not doing this because I want to grind and go all out for the cape. In fact, after today, it made me realize it's really not something I enjoy or would want to do. But I did want to use this as a way to learn the game's mechanics better. A wise man once said, if you only play one game, wouldn't you want to be good at the one game that you do play? Especially the game that I practically dedicate my life to. And the least I can do is be able to say I tried. It sucks because I spent all day just doing like 3 attempts and now it's already dinner time, so I feel like I just wasted the whole day. It's not actually a waste, of course, because I'm learning stuff, and I seriously wasn't even going to put this in a video, but I suppose one other way I can feel like I'm not wasting time and feel like I wasted this whole day is to at least put this content out there. After all, I make videos to show my progress, and even though it's not always progress of my account, it's still my own personal progression. Obviously, you can't expect to learn everything in one day, and people going for the cape usually take dozens or 50 plus or 100 plus attempts before they get it. It's extremely draining, and it sucks because no matter how far you've made it previously, you can still easily die on the lower waves, which makes it so demotivating because it feels like you're not making progress. But you are making progress because you're learning the game's mechanics, and sometimes you just mess up or you just get an unlucky spawn. Although the thing with the unlucky spawns, like, I feel like if I were to ever go for Infernal Cape, I would just have to get lucky with not getting any seriously bad spawns, which is not the way you're supposed to learn Inferno. You're supposed to figure it out. For me, the worst part is the mental drain, the dread, anxiety, and self-doubt that comes along with it. Every time a wave is about to spawn, I just get filled with an extreme sense of anxiety, and then I have to go through that for a couple hours straight and then die and repeat it all over again, over and over. I'm a nibbler chaser. It's kind of annoying because each time I want to go to Inferno, there's a bunch of plugins I have to either turn on or adjust. And I also gotta pause my Streamlabs notifications as well, since I'm using my OBS replay buffer to capture these clips. Now, the one thing I found the most useful, like the one plugin I don't think I'd be able to get anywhere without in the Inferno, is inventory tags. No, I'm just kidding. Using a metronome. RuneLite has a metronome plugin that I use. Otherwise, you can just use your own set to 100 beats per minute. And this is the key to everything I was able to learn during this session. The 2-tick blob flick being the most important thing. And then there's also the 1-tick alternating to use in a pinch when there's no hiding from the blobs and all hope is lost, which I actually managed to record an attempt of doing it, which you're seeing right now. It was my first time trying it, and I was like, oh no, it's all over. Let's see if the stuff I learned in the guides actually works. So I just yielded it, started alternating, and I somehow survived. I was legitimately shocked though. I was like, there's no way this is gonna work, right? But I actually didn't take damage from the blobs once I started doing that, so that's pretty cool. Mathematically, it makes sense. It should work, and it does. Now, watching my clips back, like right here, if I'm gonna run across, I should at least put on my tankier gear. And this is why I like using replay buffer. Using some kind of replay buffer or shadow play to record and watch back your gameplay is insanely useful. I've done this for most bossing I've done in the game, and recognizing what your mistakes are, I think, is how you improve. And you can't recognize your mistakes if you don't record your stuff, because it's so hard to recognize mistakes in the moment, especially in high stress situations like this, or like knowing what to do or what went wrong. And in my opinion, becoming a good player, I don't really like to say it that way, probably more accurate to say a skillful player, isn't about being perfect and never making mistakes. I think it's more about recognizing your mistakes in the moment. Having a greater understanding as well as prior experience leads to a sort of less naivety about the game. I think that's a word. No! Ah! What can I say? I'm a nibbler chaser. In conclusion, I'm glad to say I learned a lot of stuff today, such as the different kinds of flicking I mentioned before, dumb mistakes like misclicking, attacking too soon, chasing nibblers, and so many more little things. And I learned about monster pathing, and how the southwest tile of a monster can be manipulated around obstacles. I barely scratched the tip of the iceberg, and I don't know when I'll come back because it was honestly a pretty bad time. But I'm glad that I can say I tried and that I became slightly better at the game from what little time I did put into it. And I'm at least proud to report that my last death of the day was not due to chasing nibblers. Fuck. Ah, God. And now I've just spent the rest of the day fishing and editing and just relaxing. If you missed it, the highest wave I made it to was wave 53. And yeah, now I don't know, I have this like existential dread of playing the game. It's weird, I don't know how to explain it, but like I literally understand now why Inferno makes people quit the game. So I need to find a way to ground myself. So maybe I'll do some chambers or stream Zulrah or maybe do Slayer or something. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I just gotta figure out what to do with myself now. So the game update today is that they opened up beta worlds so that people could try out the proposed bounty hunter rewards that they're gonna be coming out with. And I did log into that, not to try out the rewards, but to try out triple jads. And yeah, it's good practice. Learned more stuff about the game, although I didn't record it because I don't know. Another pretty huge update today in the other changes is that you'll now get notifications when you get a combat level. So it's not just for skills anymore, but it is toggleable. And to show up on the high scores, it was 35 before, now it is 30. Oh, my surf helm's almost out of scales. Here's the stack that I currently have. Once we fill this up, I'm at 61k, which for me, I would consider that dangerously low. Now, I do have a bunch of other Zulrah uniques that I could potentially break down if I wanted to, like Fangs. Yeah, I could break these down, but I like having cool items like this stack up in the bank. So if I don't need to, I'm not going to. I just like doing Zulrah. For the last couple of videos, I haven't done any PVM with my teammate, and that's because she wants agility to be her first 99, which she's currently working on. I think she's almost 98. And so the problem is that she's now 98 hit points, and she can't really PVM at this point until she gets 99 agility, so she's just grinding that out at the moment. So whenever she's done with that, we can get back into PVMing together. I had a dream last night that we were duoing bandos, but we were both doing the mage method. That was interesting. I woke up and I started thinking about it. But then I realized that like we'd still want one of us to be on lunars. And if we're doing the mage method, we'd want both of us to be able to freeze bandos. Well, anyways, here's the Zulrah collection log. At the moment, I have 2001 KC. Let's have some fun today. Okay, we got an elite casket from Zulrah. We got a master. Oh, Venom. Wait, was that Venom and Poison? I've never seen that before. Oh, because I have the Serp to Venom and then the DD. That was really cool. And we got the Master. Okay, okay. You know what's crazy about this KC? Oh my god. Okay, that's not the joke I was about to make. I was gonna, I mean, not joke, serious. The serious thing I was gonna say is that my Zulrah KC is now higher than the age of the Earth. But this is pretty funny too. It's the second jar, so that's a 1 out of 3k. Okay, well this is now Spook Dog's jar of swamp. What smells worse, me or the jar of swamp, is the real question. The same kind of people that think anglerfish and monkfish are real probably also believe that the earth is round. Don't be ridiculous. It's crazy. So many crazy lunatics out there. Is your shirt blue and black or white and gold? It's white and gold. It's just the blue lighting from the room makes it look different. And this one is 2100 Zulrah KC. That is 100 KC done today. Well, actually 99, but we'll just call it 100 because 2.1k looks clean. Now let's do a raid. Never. Well, before I go to bed, I just wanted to show the progress I made today. And by progress, I mean cooking XP. It was 876k from my AFK time. I decided to jump back in again today for one more attempt just because I wasn't happy with how I died during my last couple PBs, just chasing nibblers. And I'd say the big thing I learned today was running around corners, which you'll see multiple examples of in these clips. Now here's a ranger and major with bats in front, and for this I have to start one tile north and manually click out west so the pathing doesn't bring me out south since the bat can't reach me from here. And then otherwise, it's just the same as a normal Ranger Major stat for the flicking. Alright, wave 54, already a new PB. It looks pretty solved, right? I could just run to the other side of the pillar and kill those other two, or just lure the mage over a bit. But wait, there's a nibbler. I'm like a dog that sees a squirrel. I have to save the pillar, you don't understand. And I think it looks like I got one tick off at some point while I was doing this, so yeah, enjoy the rest of this. Oh, look, I'm learning. I had the melee or corner safe spotted, but there's a nibbler on the pillar. But I learned from the past that it's okay to just wait a few extra seconds and then go get the nibbler. And that's what I did. I'm proud of myself for that. And I think I flicked the blobs right too there. Yeah. Like I said before, recording what you do is probably the best thing to do so you can figure out what you would have done in a scenario. In this situation, I think I should have ran to the west side of the pillar and then maybe even purposely tank a melee hit so it wouldn't dig, or even after it dug, I could have maybe safe spotted the meleeer behind the blob. But no, it's hard to think of stuff in the moment, so I just panicked and ran south, and it did end up working out. And by the way, for anyone who hasn't seen much Inferno stuff, my camera angle is usually facing south, so when I say cardinal directions, just keep that in mind. For this spawn, I was literally just frozen. I was just standing there for so long trying to analyze the situation and figure out what to do. I think I could have stepped out a tile east and then brought the meleeer up to me so I could corner safe spot him from there. But I think really the big thing I need to learn and figure out is how to off tick. And there's two methods I can think of for off-ticking. One is for the meleeer, recognizing the tick that it digs on and being able to first off know if it's going to be attacking the same time as a major/ranger, and also how to set it off-tick if necessary. And the other off-tick method thing I'm talking about is setting things off-tick by running around a corner in a situation where you'd then be required to now be flicking two or more things. In this situation, I wasn't on the right tick for the blobs. I think I was just supposed to hold the prey mage for one more tick and then go into the two-tick flick. And then it was funny here because the meleeer dug and I didn't know the timing was going to work out like that, but it just ended up working out perfectly that way. I mean, it was calculated. I was counting how many seconds until the meleeer was going to dig. So remember I said today I learned about running around corners. Here's an example of that. However, this is not what I was just talking about running around corners to off-tick stuff. This is a lot easier because you only have one thing on you at a time when you run around the corner. So this is the thing I'm talking about that I figured out today. But you do want to try to kill the major first if possible because it can respawn the other monsters. So I had to run around the corner again and I did it. It's a useful skill of many, of course, to know because as you saw in the last clip, I used that to chase a nibbler down. And in this clip, I'm using it to lure the major closer. I guess it's like a pretty standard line of sight thing that if you don't know already, you kind of figure out right when you start the Inferno. You know, the fact that monsters try to path toward you when there's an obstacle in the way. Also, I might have actually tanked that mage hit looking at the clip now. I'm not sure if I did though, it's hard to tell. And here's a clip of me successfully chasing nibblers when I know I shouldn't, but it looks so easy this time to do. Of course, I started off strong with the misclick. I was just like, these stacks take me so long to kill with a Bofa. Maybe if I had a T-bow, I could kill the major faster that way and then I could get to the nibbler faster, but with the Bofa, it kind of takes some time. So I was like, okay, YOLO swag, let's do it. I could reach the two nibblers from where I was at, and then the one nibbler. I tried to time the major and ranger. I don't know if I did it perfectly, but I'm pretty sure right here I didn't end up taking the ranger. So great success. This clip was bad and unmechanical of me. What I could have done at the start here is know the timing of when to run around the corner to off-tick the ranger and the major. But I didn't do that because, of course, I had to kill the nibblers. And now I was trying to get into the 2-tick flick with the Ranger and the Blob, but what I should have done is gone into a 1-tick alternating, or even better, gone around to the west side of the pillar and then worried about the Major and the Blob instead of the Ranger and the Blob. I think the thing I struggled with is knowing what tick the Ranger's animation is its attacking tick. It's easy with the Mage because it's the flicker of the shadow under its body. I think with the Ranger, it's when it stands up straight, but yeah, I need to figure that out. Anyways, I ran to the south side and I survived. Now in this clip, I wish I could say this was on purpose, and I wish I could purposely off-tick the Ranger and the Major so beautifully, but it just happened to work out that way. Actually, I'm just studying this clip now because I figured this is probably a good clip to look at to figure out the timing for the Ranger's attack, and it looks like it's actually 1 tick after the Ranger stands up straight. Either that or I just tanked a bunch of range hits, but oh my god, there's a nibbler. It took every ounce of willpower I had to wait until after the Major was dead before I went to the nibbler tile to kill it. This clip is an example of how it might have helped to know the timing of how to purposely off-tick the Major and Ranger for when I was running around the pillar here. I think the safer play would have been to corner safe spot the meleeer on the east side of the pillar, kill it, run to the east side, kill the Ranger, and then deal with the nibblers and the Major, and then maybe the Major to respawn stuff. But this still ended up working out and allowed my pillar to save a little bit more health than it would have otherwise. I hate this because everything just seems so much more obvious in retrospect when you're just calm and watching the clip over and there's no time rush or anything. It's so much more difficult in the moment, and it really probably just comes with more time and more experience actually doing it and being in these situations. But at the time, it's just so stressful and like, okay, I know the meleeer is going to dig. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And this whole time, I couldn't figure out what to do. I'm just like, I guess I'll just run south when it digs. Again, if I knew the timing of running around the corner to off-tick the Ranger and Major, I could have done that after the meleeer dug. Or when it dug, I think I could have just gone 1 tile south, then run east, and I think the meleeer would have been safe spotted underneath the Major. I'm not exactly sure if the meleeer can run through monsters after they dig or not. I don't know how that works yet. But if that would have worked, then I really took the L because this wave was practically as good as solved without even having to have mechanical knowledge. Fuck. No! Oh my... Ah! I hate this so much. I'm gonna go do something fun now. This is all I can do after the Inferno because it's so draining, so I just sit here and AFK and get 6-hour logged and think about how much I hate myself. Hey, look, I did a thing. 105 cooking is 23.6 mil XP. Don't worry, I do still have plenty of banked cooking XP for Spook Dog. I think she's like 6 or 7 mil XP away from 99 cooking. I have over 20 mil XP banked. Plus, she's not even 99 fishing, and depending on what she fishes, you a lot of the time do get more cooking XP per fishing XP. Unless you do barb fishing, of course, but there's a chance I might not even have to give her any supplies for her to get 99 cooking. So what's going on now? It's 2 a.m. I'm about to get 6-hour logged again today. I killed Hespori. Spook Dog's going hard with the agility, and I'm too tired to end the video, and my voice is going to sound really bad if I try to do that, so I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Well, this video wasn't meant to be a trying out Inferno kind of video. Like I said, I wasn't even planning on putting my Inferno trying out clips in the video in the first place. The title of this video might say like 1 day of Inferno, even though technically I was there on 2 separate days. But if you think about it, I kind of spent half a day at the Inferno and then the other half of the day relaxing both times I did it. So if you add 1/2 to 1/2, that equals 1. Quick maths. I will leave you with one final lesson I learned of trying out the Inferno, which I guess I probably kind of knew beforehand too, but this really solidified it. The fact that to learn the Inferno and get better at it and learn the mechanics, you have to really want to. It's not really something you can half-ass. You kind of have to full commit if you go in there. And it's something that you really have to want to do. Like if you're only going in there because other people told you that you should, and you don't actually want to, then you're not going to have the patience to learn the mechanics and progress in there, and it's probably not worth your time in that case. Anyways, I want to get back to doing chambers in the next video because it's fun for me. So with that, make sure to check out my duo teammate Spook Dog's channel linked below in every video description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.